Hello, people. This is your friend, Anime Pie, Kranty here. And I'm gonna start a new what if today. And my what if is what if Izuku Midoriya, our boy, Deku, had the power of Almighty Thor. Yes, I used Almighty because he is technically a god. So, yeah, mighty or almighty works in both ways, I presume. So, yeah, if it's a what if that my new what if, and the topic is what if Deku had the power of mighty Thor, and specifically he will get Mjolnir, Thor's epic, awesome hammer. Yeah, it's basically Marvel comics mixed with My Hero Academia. So it's like Marvel X MHA. Okay, so without any delay, let's get started. So, our story starts from a very, 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 very long ago when the nine realms were connected and and mighty Thor, not Deku, yeah, sorry, mighty Thor fought off the world serpent Jormungandr. And as he fought the world serpent, he perished in the battle. And he threw, and at the moment when he knew that he's about to perish, he much like what Odin did in the first Thor movie, told the hammer, or in this case, enchanted the hammer with a new enchantment that you will give, or you will bestow my power, that is Thor's, the thunder god's power, to a person who is pure of heart and who wants to help people. Okay, who is a pure of heart and who's a hero in heart. Okay, so that's why the hammer will go to that person. It's essentially that. Okay, so our story starts from the very first day of the anime. Okay, so Deku was walking towards his home after being bullied by Bakugo and all. He pretty much got bullied by all of that, and all of his life, throughout his life, and he it's like our normal Deku in our original timeline. So one that day, when Deku was taking a shortcut to the tunnel, he got attacked by the sludge villain. And in this scenario, you will also be attacked by the sludge villain, like the regular timeline. And at that moment, when he was struggling with the sludge villain, All Might was late. Okay, in the anime, All Might came to Deku's rescue, and he pretty much smashed the sludge villain away from Deku. But in this moment, All Might wasn't there, or All Might was has reached his hero limit, so he didn't reached there in within time. So when Deku was consumed, because the sludge villain was overpowering Deku, and Deku doesn't have any coke. Deku, when he was being overpowered by the sludge villain, on his mind he kept thinking, I wish I had the power to help others, to be a hero, so that this kind of stuff doesn't happen to others, which is happening to me. His driven, or his inner thoughts, or his thinking was that if only I could have helped people. He doesn't wanted to be saved, or he wasn't actually being like what's he wasn't actually being worried about his own safety or worried about his own life. He just wanted to save other people so that this kind of stuff doesn't happen to them. And the Mjolnir, the Thor's hammer, it is a magical hammer. So Mjolnir was pretty much like was always observing the Midgard, or in this case Earth, for that kind of thinking that a person, even a hero, even who's about to die, still wants to help others, is a true hero. And that made Deku worthy of Milmer. Then Milmer split open from a mountain range from Norway, because that Thor was a Viking god, so Norway seems a very good place for Milmer to stay. So it split open a mountain in half, and Milmer came from that. And I'm gonna take some creative liberty here, because in this what if, Milmer is pretty fast and pretty powerful than normal Milmer. It's like more like the mythological version of Milmer. Okay, so yeah, Milmer came to Deku as he was pretty much on the brink of death's door, being consumed by the sludge villain from within. The sludge villain is about to like control everything in Deku's body. And Milmer came, and Deku grabbed the hilt or the handle of the hammer, and a voice came to his mind. You have great courage in your heart. You have the heart of a hero. Even when you are on the death's door, you are still concerned about other people's safety, and you still want to help people. That makes you a true hero, a real hero. Now you shall have my power, the power of the Thunder God, the power of mighty Thor, Odin's son. And a huge lightning struck the position where Deku was being consumed by the sludge villain. Electricity crackling through his eyes, through his bodies, through his entire being. He dons the helmet of Thor, the armor of Thor, the hammer of Thor, the red cape of Thor from Marvel Comics. He dons the power of Almighty Thor. And with the hammer in hand, Deku says, "How about thee?" And then he swings his hammer, and thunder comes, and lightning strikes the sludge villain again and again, making it invulnerable, unable to move. At that moment, everybody was shocked, like, damn, there's like thunder strike in the same position multiple of times, and everybody was like shocked. And All Might picked it up, and All Might instantly rushed there to see what's happening. And he become when he reached, Deku was unconscious because he couldn't handle the power, because being that powerful, it's still very taxing. That power of the Thunder God, it's very taxing on Deku's body. So Deku becomes unconscious, and the sludge villain is immovable on the spot. And All Might reaches there, and he shouts, "No need to worry, I am here, All Might, the number one hero," as he was flexing. And when he reached Deku, he was like shocked to see that a child, barely a teenager, did this to a very dangerous villain. And what is he holding? A hammer? That's a very odd looking hammer. A hammer with, it kind of looks like a war hammer, but the handle is really short. So he tried to pick up Deku. Okay, he picked up Deku, but then he tried to, okay, the kid was holding the hammer, let me try to grab on the hammer. And All Might tried to grab the hammer, but he couldn't, because only the person who is worthy can wield the hammer. All Might uses his 80% strength, his 90% strength, still the hammer won't budge even a single hair length. Then All Might uses his plus ultra mode, but still the hammer wouldn't budge. And he gave up on the hammer and he was like, okay, let me collect the sludge villain and let me take care of this young boy. I was like, okay, I can't do it, so just forget it. Then he collected the sludge villain or the sludge from the sludge villain in the bottles. Yeah, and he carried Deku and he was jumping from roof to roof. Then while everything that is happening, a vision of Thor came to the unconscious mind of Deku, our boy Midoriya, and telling him, "You are my successor. Only you can wield Mjolnir because you are a true hero. You have the courage and you have the heart of a true hero. What is your name, boy? Tell me." And Deku says, well, sir, Deku is extremely nervous and extremely nerdy. I am Izuku Midoriya, sir. Ah, Izuku Midoriya. A fine name for a mighty warrior. Your names will be sung in the halls of Valhalla on Odin's court. Valkyries will sing about your triumphant victories. All hail Izuku Midoriya, the new mighty Thor. Then the image or the silhouette of mighty Thor vanishes in front of Deku, and he's like wondering, what's happening? Who is he? And what am I now? And how am I worthy? Then Deku became conscious again. He regains his senses and he is like extremely rush of feelings of joy and a lot of wonder and a lot of question. Why All Might, the number one hero, is carrying me and jumping around the roof? Then he's like shouting, what? Oh, All Might, you're carrying me on the roof? Thank you, All Might. Then All Might sets himself down and takes Deku to a rooftop, and he's like, are you okay, kid? You seem pretty tired out. Is everything okay? And you must have an amazing coke to do this to the sludge villain. And Deku, coke? I don't have any cork. All Might, I'm corkless. Right at that moment, All Might deflates in front of Deku, and he's baffled. All Might, what happened to you? Who are you? What you did to the number one hero? Are you an imposter? Are you a villain? Then All Mights tell him, hold on, young boy. I am All Might. This is my true self. Then, like the original anime, All Might explains everything to Deku and tells him about his injuries battling All for One. And Deku is like, but you are the number one hero. You are the symbol of peace. You need to find a proper successor. Then Deku asked All Might the question that Deku asked him on the rooftop on a regular timeline. He asked, sir, can I be a hero even if I don't have a coke? And All Might answered his question in this timeline bit regularly. All Might said, I know that you have potentials and dormant power within you. Yes, you can be a very powerful hero or a very good hero, if you only can unlock your potential and control it. Young boy, you will be a wonderful hero. You just need to find your potential within yourself. Then All Might jumps around, and All Might, before jumping around, All Might tells, "Are you gonna be okay now? You seem fine now. Go to a hospital if you're not feeling well. And in the meanwhile, I will take this villain to the police and the authorities." And All Might then, right about All Might about to jump around, Deku said something to him. He said, "Don't worry about me, All Might. I'll be fine and I'll be going to home." And thus All Might started jumping from rooftop to another rooftop. While jumping from the rooftop to another rooftop, the sludge villain drops off from All Might's pockets and he starts to attack Bakugo. He was like, "Damn, the previous kid had some kind of lightning power. He nearly killed me. At least this one is much easier to deal with, and I will have a fine body because he has an explosion coke." And like the original anime, everything happens the same. Bakugo is slowly being consumed by the sludge villain, and the pro heroes can't do anything because they are scared of the explosion coke that Bakugo has, and sludge villain has become a little bit powerful since he got the time to rest up. And All Might lost his timer, so lost his hero duty time because of his injury. So Deku was like, "What's the commotion? I hear explosion. There are people get there rounding up. Let me go and check it out. Maybe I can help." Then when Deku pushed the crowd and saw Bakugo being consumed by the sludge villain, he's like, "Oh no, I have to save him. He's my friend." Then Deku started running towards Bakugo without a single thought. Then a voice came to his mind. It's the voice of the voice he heard when he was unconscious, the voice of mighty Thor. "Call Mjolnir." "Mjolnir? What is it?" "Call Mjolnir." Then Deku reaches out his left hand or right hand, reaches out his hand, and he subconsciously calls for Mjolnir. And the hammer comes to him, and lightning strikes the earth, shattering everything. He dons the Asgardian Uru armor. He dons the warhammer of Thor. He dons the helmet of Thor, shining, glistening like the crackling thunder and lightning. And he dons the red cape of Thor. Then Deku is shocked at his own power and at his own muscles and at his own lightning power. And he's like, "Oh my god, lightning! There's like electricity coming out of my body." Then the voice within his mind says, "I am Thor, the mighty Asgardian, god of thunder, lightning, and storm, and you are my successor, Izuku Midoriya. You are the new thunder god, the god of storms, the god of lightning. You ride the rainbow bridge to Valhalla. You will strike every single person who is against peace and who is for tyranny and injustice with my mighty hammer. Nay, not mine anymore. Your mighty hammer, god of thunder, Deku." And lightning strikes, and everything comes to his mind. Flashes of battle that Thor fought over the millions and millions of years. The battles he fought against the frost giants, the battles he fought against the fire giant Surtur, the battles he fought in all the Nile realms. He swings his hammer, creating a mini storm or a mini tornado. Then he lifts the sludge villain upward as he swings the hammer, and he propels himself by the hammer. Deku is flying. Remember, Deku's mind is on auto mode here because Thor is pretty much is giving like visions or flashes of his technique, what he is capable of and what Thor is capable of. And the tornado is going upward. There in between the clouds, the sludge villain is hovering, and lightning and thunder is crackling and striking the sludge villain from multiple angles. And Bakugo and the sludge villain can't keep hold of Bakugo, and he let go of Bakugo, and Deku creates a small gust so that when Bakugo falls, he doesn't get like beaten up or get damaged due to the fall. Bakugo stays at the ground, safe from falling down, but he's unconscious because it's a very traumatic experience for him. And while, like the first Thor movie, when Thor flings the destroyer upward, he is striking him from every angle and every direction. Lightning, there's like a net of lightning strikes is striking the sludge villain from every angle. And at that moment, Deku, or the thunder god Deku, is swirling his hammer, and he says this: "How about the lightning strike?" And he strikes the sludge villain with all of his might, and the shockwave creates a thundering sound everyone can hear. It's like as if when All Might smashed the sludge villain and a tornado happened, and when Deku smashed the sludge villain with his hammer, lightning happened, a tornado happened, storm happened, because he is the god of thunder, lightning and storm. And when he finishes off the sludge villain, everyone's like, who is this amazing hero? He is amazingly powerful. And Deku becomes unconscious, and he falls to the ground from very high place. And at that moment, All Might thinks it's the same kid again, and it's his amazing power. I must go plus ultra, beyond my limit, like this kid did just right now. Then All Might buffs himself up to his hero form, and he jumps and catches Deku from falling down. He lost all of his power, all of his armor, muscles, and all of his godlike, thundering, shining, lightning-like shine and aura. He's like a regular mortal now, and he's falling, and he caught him. All Might caught the future, and he, at that moment, thought, this is my new successor. He will be the new symbol of peace. He catches Deku and he lands on the ground. That is the end of What If. Wait for the next part very soon. This is your friend, your host, Anime Bhai Kranty, signing off. Oh, by the way, do please subscribe and share this with all of your friends, because it helps the channel. And I also make music in my own language and in English, I do sing a little bit, and I also make chill music and instrumentals. Please feel free to check them out. So, Anime Bhai, Kranti, signing off. Tata. Have a good day, good night, good evening, or a good night. And wait for the part 2. Bye bye. Signing off.